Let's see. Yes, we are recording. So welcome team to our team call. Today's June 2nd and it's so crazy. Like the year is halfway over, which is like kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety because it's like, oh my gosh, the year's halfway over. But it's still 6 months to make, oh, can you go get daddy? Plenty of time to get a lot of stuff accomplished. So really quick, I want to do a shout out. Here is our, for May, we had a great month. So congratulations to Jessica, Hannah, Aubrey, Shannon, Jessica Jewett. All helped at least 3 people get started. And then Jennifer, Ryan, Kristen, Bethany, Melissa, Joelle, Jill, Destiny, and Erin helped at least one person, 1 to 2 people. And so our team is, I love that we are helping so many people, and it's always so exciting. And that's a fresh month, like so much possibility to think we can help. And so if you're watching the recording or if you're on live and you didn't hit your goals in May, then that's okay. Like, don't let that discouragement continue on into June because it's a brand new month. You know, it's like what we tell our kids when they fall off their bike. You don't just stop riding your bike. You know, you're not 30 years old and somebody asks you and you say, well, I fell off my bike when I was 5 and so I don't ride bikes. You know, you don't do that. Like, you get back on your bike and you ride it. And so that's how it is with coaching. Like, you fail and you fall down, but then you get back up and you try again and you try again. And it's exactly what we tell our kids, and we have to apply that to ourselves. Maybe you didn't hit your goals in May, but June, you get back up and you do those vital behaviors. You do your business, your BAT every day, your power hour, and you're going to get to where you want to go. So congratulations to you ladies. And I know this month we're going to do even better. So with that being said, I am going to introduce Lorissa. Lorissa is a 2-star qualifying coach. She's been a coach, I think, for what? Did you say, Lorissa?
No, just over a year.
Just over a year. Okay. Just over a year, and she's actually one of the coaches of my success partner, Bria. She's in her downline, and so Bria's like, I meet with Bria every other week, and she's always talking about Lorissa being such a rock star, and so I am so excited to have her on here. So Lorissa, I'm going to pass it over to you and let you share a little bit more of your story and whatnot, and I'm going to mute out so the baby's not.
Sure. So I've just been over a year now, and you know, I was a hobby coach in the beginning, so it took me a good 6 months of dabbling in this. Mind you, I became a hobby coach with the intention of always paying for my own product. So I knew that every single month I had to help 3 people. And I have hit Success Club since the month that I started because I always wanted to pay for my Shakeology selfishly, you know, but as I got going and I started to help more and more people, like, it became addictive almost. So my history is that I'm an obstetrics nurse, and I've been an obstetrics nurse for well over 10 years. And, but you know, that's a very tiring, grueling job. I've got 2 kids and I'm kind of over the 12-hour shifts. And when I realized that I could actually make a little bit of money doing this, you know, my wheels started to turn. And that's when I actually really started to link up with Bria. I'm sure you guys all know her because she is such a rock star. And then I was like, okay, that's it. Like, I want to go all in and with the intentions of quitting my job. And so I was able to quit my nursing job in December, and now I do this full time. And it's really been a game changer for me, although I do feel like it's an extension of nursing because I feel like I'm able to help people in a preventative way. And I have really helped people get off their meds, whether it's through depression or diabetes. I mean, you guys all know what it's like to have somebody go through a challenge group, have them drink Shakeology, get results, but get results that actually are so life-changing. And those are the ones that I love, and those are the ones that make me really feel like so connected to this business. So that's a little bit about my backstory. But I put these slides together because, like, just a few weeks ago, I was not struggling, but we all go through the roller coaster of this business. Being an entrepreneur, we know that you can go up and down very easily. And when you hit those lows, it's really important that we understand that we know how to push through them. So I'm going to share my screen because I'm a big slide girl. And I think I'll just leave it like this. You guys can all see it like this, right? Instead of me making it bigger. But I put this together. So three changes that will turn your business like a boss. And my team is Fit Boss, so I like to throw the boss around a lot. But I needed this, and so did my team, as a little pep talk. So I'm going to walk you through these 3 things that we can all do, and remember why we love this business so much, and we love helping people. Because that's really what this is about. So the first thing is that I love this acronym of FLY, which is first, love yourself, and others will come next. Because that's a vital behavior for us. Like, if we don't take care of ourselves first, like we're going to have an empty cup to pour from. So we always need to remember to fill our own cup first, and then we can pour from that to help others. So we have to do our vital behaviors, because if we don't do our vital behaviors, then how are we really coaching? Like, how are we able to share that with other people? And entrepreneurial people are passionate about what they do. They're comfortable with taking risks, and they're quick to move on from failures. And I feel like that really separates good coaches from coaches that just don't get it. Because we have to understand that it is an entrepreneurship coaching, and that we are going to fail. And just like Carrie said, like, if you didn't hit your goals in May, like, it doesn't matter. You're going to get back on your bike and you're going to try again, because that's just what we do. So we're going to stop saying I wish, and we're going to start saying I will, right? So in this business, it's important that we just own it, because so many coaches are afraid to say, I'm a Beachbody coach. And I was guilty of that for like months. I don't know why. I felt like, because I actually have 2 bachelor degrees. I have one in kinesiology, and I have another one in science and nursing. So for some reason, being able to just say I'm a Beachbody coach and not say like I'm a nurse, or I just, it was like the stigma I had attached to it. But now I fully own it. And if somebody asks me what I do, I'm like, I'm a Beachbody coach. And I have no shame in saying it, because we know that what we do is so important in other people's lives and in our own. I think if we're all here right now, we can all attest that it has touched our lives so deeply that we want to pay it forward. And the other thing too is, if you do have another job that you're not happy about, it's like coaching will give you that opportunity to step away from that. Because if you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. So we want to clearly build our own dream, right? So we need to stop waiting around for someone to grow our dream. We need to go out there and do it ourselves. So, which brings me to point number 1, is that we need to stop waiting for success to come to us, and we actually have to take ownership. My business didn't start to take off until I took ownership of it. I actually have an upline that is not involved with me at all. She actually doesn't even respond to my messages. She's just a hobby coach, and she has no connection. So for a while, I didn't realize that I could be like reaching out to other people, or, really diving into my coach online office. And you guys are lucky to have Carrie, but we don't always have an upline that really sponsors us and helps us get there. So it's important, if people do have a dead upline, that we don't wait around for our upline to tell us what to do. Is that we understand from the get-go that this is our own business. And even if you have an upline who is so helpful, you need to take ownership though of your business. So like Google it if they're not available, or like really dive in there. But I think it's important that we all put our CEO hats on and take that approach to the business, because success really is like 100% on us to make it happen. Our coaches and upline can help guide us, and our team is there to guide us, but we need to do the work. So I kind of go back to, it's no one else's job to support our dreams or our goals, but we're lucky when we do have uplines that help us out and do, because we all know that we grow faster and we grow stronger when we are connected as a team, right? And we all know that if we can make those sacrifices and make adjustments, so if we think about like, what is it that we can give up to help move our business forward? And it wasn't until I started to give up a few things in my life and turn it from a hobby coach to being a full-fledged coach that my business was like at a standstill. So I was like, okay, I don't need to watch these shows. Or I actually put the kill the news feed for Facebook. I was like stuck just like scrolling in Facebook for hours and hours. I was thinking I was doing my job, but then I was like, well, did I do my power hour? Did I reach out to people? I don't even know, because I was just sort of sucked into that vortex. So I highly suggest to everybody to kill the newsfeed if you really want to get that work done. The only time I'm scrolling on Facebook is on my phone. So, if ever I'm out or about, then I start liking and commenting on things. But when I sit down at my desk to do something, I've got the newsfeed killed and I'm like just laser focused on my power hour. And sometimes it does mean maybe going to sleep later or getting up earlier, or maybe not going out for dinner so that you can afford your Shakeology monthly for a little while until your business gets going, but time suckers give no return. So we need to understand that, and that we have people to go out there and help. And this book is amazing. If you guys haven't read it, I love this book. Punch fear in the face, escape average, and do what matters. Start. It really just is like a super simple, fast read. But for anybody that's like newer in this, and even for me, I just got so much out of it. It just really inspired me. And I love that it was like a really quick, easy read. So I just wanted to throw that in there because personal development is so important, which brings us to point 2. We have heard thousands and thousands of coaches. It's like beating a dead horse into us, like personal development, or what has what's the key that's helped you turn your business into something that's worked? And they all turn back to personal development. But I'm not going to lie, it's always like the last thing on our to-do list. Like, we're always like, okay, we know we need to work out, we need to drink our Shakeology, we got to get our power hour in. And it's like, and then we'll fit in personal development. But really, it's like we need to put personal development almost at number 1 because it's just so important when we hit those little roller coaster moments in our business. When we're at a low, we need to really hit the personal development. And the thing is that we also need to be teachable. So, our vital behaviors in this business are there for a reason because they're vital to our success. We need to commit to growth, and we need to commit to helping our team grow because we know that we can't grow as one person. We don't just want to be in this for the commission because we know that that's not going to give us the future that we want. We're in this because we all dream really big and we want to fulfill those incredible, trips we want to take our families on, or if we do want to quit our jobs. So we need to be able to think big and grow big. And by growing, that means helping our team. So one question I always love to ask my coaches is the coach you are today going to get you to the coach you're going to be tomorrow? So are you doing the behaviors today that that will help you out tomorrow? If you aren't going to message people today, then you're not going to have people to follow up with tomorrow. And then it goes in the next day. So it's like, if you aren't messaging people for a few days in a row, then you're really not going to have people to follow up with. And I think that, especially right now, it's the beginning of the month. We need to be messaging so many people so that we hit Success Club early. When we hit Success Club early, then we can help our team hit Success Club. And then everybody is happy because we all want Success Club. We all want to grow and we all want to make this work for us. This business, like I said, it is full of negativity and we have to overcome that. And those no's and hard days are not easy. But, again, we just have to remember to not forget to love ourselves because, loving ourselves first really is everything because it's transparent on social media. When we post, people can tell if we're positive or not, so we really do need to work on ourselves and then transmit that to others and be that positive light for people and not to get stuck in that bad place. We all have those weeks, but it's important when you are in a funk to reach out to somebody who knows how to pull you out of it. Because there's no point in being stuck there. We just need to move on. I know Bria was in one last week and she was like, I just need to get out of this. And I'm like, we can do this. And then, I'll hit a funk and I'll be like, oh no, I need to get out of this, but that's just what it's about. And we just need to understand that so that when it happens, we know how to overcome it. And something else that happens in this business a lot is competition between others. But we need to understand that we can admire someone else's beauty without questioning our own. And that a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. And I love that because it's so easy to compare yourself to other coaches and be like, well, I'm not like them. Or how are they doing it? I can't recruit like they are. And I'm guilty of it too, because sometimes recruiting is hard. But we need to understand that, you know, we just need to start with ourselves and like have those blinders on sometimes and just love yourself and the rest will come. And that, you know, some people dream of success and others make it happen. And we know that like there are some people that just like to talk about all the things that they need to do, but they don't actually do it. But we need to do it. Like there's no point in talking about it without not doing it, because consistency in this business is everything. Even if you only have 15 minutes to work your business, you need to use those 15 minutes to message people. And I love what Estee Lauder said is like, when I thought I couldn't go on, I forced myself to keep going. And my success is based on persistence, not luck. And that's coaching like in a nutshell. It is just like plugging along. And it's like you know, who can like run the marathon and like stay on course. And they always say like, be here in a year. And that's totally it. You know, we're not really doing many different things, but it's like being able to just stay consistent through it. And so, you know, I also love this little picture that I threw in here is that I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can learn to let go, and things go wrong so that you can appreciate them when they're right. And you believe lies so that you eventually learn to trust no one but yourself. And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together. And I love that because like when you hit a rank and then you lose it, then you hit a rank and then you lose it, it's so easy to get like down on yourself. Or when coaches cancel, you're like, I can't believe they canceled, you know? But that just means that we just keep going, and that we need to understand too that Beachbody doesn't consume our life. As much as sometimes we think like, oh my gosh, I have to do these vital behaviors and I need to post, I need to message, but we need to understand that like that's a part of coaching, and that it doesn't consume our life, is that it gives us life. Like I was just speaking with Carrie earlier, like you're home with kids and I'm home with kids. And like, if I didn't have Beachbody, I don't know where my head would be. Like it gives me a purpose to like wake up in the morning. And I absolutely love doing this. And I love to transmit that passion to others, because Beachbody, we're so fortunate to have something like this in our lives that, you know, it's important for us to understand the reason behind our consistency. And so we need to show up, do work, and be the best that we can be. And that when Maya had this quote, it says, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Because as a coach, we need to be ourselves. Sometimes it's easy to look on Facebook and we see all these other coaches and we can almost like lose ourselves in them and forget that we have our own voice, and that people follow us because of who we are, not because of like what other coaches are doing. That's why people come to us, or they would all be under like the top 10 coaches. Like that's not, they want us. And we need to remember to transmit that to others. And then there's the mindset shift, is that like, it's not all about us though, it's about them. Because I say this because when I was pushing for like getting my other coaches to Diamond, or getting myself to Diamond, sometimes you have those blinders on and all you can think about are you, or how many coaches you need to sign, and that you need to like really focus on like, okay, your greater goals are great, but what's your downline coach's goal? Like, how do you support them? Because it's all going to come together, but it's so hard. It's so easy to get sucked into like, okay, wait, I just want to be elite. So I need you to go there and you to go there. But you can't shout and order people around to get what you want, you know? And it's also the same thing about like when we sell challenge packs, is that we need to remember that like we're taking these people on a journey, and we're not just like selling them a challenge pack, and it's not just about sales. So we need to stop trying to convince people to join us because it'll benefit us, but we know that it's going to change their life, right? And that confidence is not like they will like me confidence. It'll be, I'll be fine if they don't. And I totally feel like when we put that out there, like, doesn't matter if you buy a challenge pack from me, they buy it. And then when you're like, please buy this challenge pack, no one buys it. You know, so we just know that when we're doing the vital behaviors and we're doing the steps that we know to do in terms of messaging people and following up, that we're going to hit Success Club. It's going to happen. So we need to like erase that urgency within us and just like, you know, embrace it almost. and let that ripple effect happen. And then Hillary loved this little quote that's always aim high, work hard, and care deeply about what you believe in. And again, like us as coaches, like we need to really aim high, work hard, and truly care. Because if you don't care about people in this business, it's really hard to keep going. But it's so easy to keep going when you focus on caring and helping other people, because that's what it's about. And then everything else just falls into place. And then I love this one too, is that be yourself, love yourself, and shine amongst those who didn't believe you could. And I love that, because we know that there are like negative Nancy's out there about what we do. And trust me, I've had it. You've got 2 bachelor degrees, you're a professional. Why are you like quitting and staying home to do this? Like people don't get it, and they're not going to get it. But you know, there is something behind it when you do something really well, and then you're like, see, I told you so. So our 2016 goals, we've got the rest of the year to like just crush this. It's like, we're not going to look like a girl. We're going to look like ourselves. We're not going to act like a lady. We're going to act like ourselves, and we're going to think like ourselves, and we're going to work it. And then another twist to that is that we have to be relatable, and that we're not, I always bothers me when people say like, go for the no, or like go for 100 no's. But I truly believe in like the positive attraction, you know, is that I always go into a conversation thinking that they're going to say yes. And if they don't, it's okay. But I'm not going to go into a conversation thinking they're going to say no. I'm like, I never understand the mentality behind that, because we know that even when they say no, they're going to be a yes later. So I always go in with a positive outlook on everything. And that I've also learned that I need to celebrate every single small victory. To me, I always had like big goals that I wanted to hit, like whether or not it was like, okay, I just signed up and I want to be Emerald, but I don't even know what Emerald is, but I know that I want to be it. But what about all those little steps that it took before you got there? And we forget to celebrate those. Or like, you know, that gap between Emerald and Diamond can be long for some, and kind of like dragging. And we forget that like every single new coach you sign, like that's a celebration. Like you've had to work for that. And sometimes we never give ourselves credit for it. Like we're always like almost on to the next thing. At least I am. You know, I sign a coach and I'm like, all right, I still need 2 more. Or, you know, and I'm like, I forget to like just take a second. And it's like, just breathe it in for a moment. Like it's not easy signing coaches. And I know someone before we hopped on the call was like, I'm signing a coach right now. And like, that's awesome. Like that should be celebrated, because that doesn't happen every day. And you're going to be on a high for the rest of the day. And that's what it's about, right? So we don't want to get comfortable, because we always want to be moving. And we don't want to work for anybody else but ourselves. So the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. I love that one. And this one too, is that a girl boss knows when to throw punches and when to roll with them. And let's see. Okay. So I love this too, because recently I've encountered like a lot of coaches that have been sort of dragging along and like saying they're going to do a lot of things, but like they're just not really doing the vital behaviors, and which is totally fine, because we're all in this for different reasons. We may just want to be a hobby coach, or maybe our goal is to just make it to Emerald, get some free leads and, you know, hang out there, or just make it to Diamond and hang out there because you love your job. You know, this isn't all about everybody wanting to be a top 10 coach or like wanting to be able to quit their day job. But regardless of what your goal is, I still believe that we shouldn't be wasting time when we're spending our time on it. So I always like to say, like, there's no time for BS when you're building an empire. Even if this isn't your empire and you want to like have this so that you can pay for your vacations and still keep your job, or maybe make that other job part-time, that is still an empire, right? Our lives are our empire. So when we're spending time on this, we need to put our focus on and really just do it so that you don't feel like it's dragging on all day long. And I think that's when we burn out, is when we feel like, you know, we did a little bit at 8, we did a little bit at 9, a little bit at 10. It's like, I always hear Chalene Johnson, like, really, like, don't fold the laundry right now. Or if you're going to fold the laundry, that's going to be when you're listening to a podcast or something. But if you're trying to do your power hour, really try to make it at a time where it's not so broken up. And if all you have is broken up, which is kind of where I'm at right now because my schedule changed, like I'm going to try to have to figure it out because I feel like that's when burnout comes. And as a coach, we don't want to hit burnout. We want to make this so that it makes our lives thrive and be better. And so this was I think that's my last slide, is a girl boss is someone who's in charge of her own life. She gets what she wants because she works for it. And a girl boss, you take control and accept responsibility. You know where you're going, but can't do it without having some fun along the way. And you're going to take over the world and change it in the process because you're a badass. And even on our worst day, we're still killing it. So I hope you guys like the pep talk because myself and my team really needed to remember a few of these really valuable things. And since that, we all kind of just took off in the past couple weeks. So I'm going to pass the juju over to you guys. And you guys are going to have such an awesome June and head into Summit in July and party it up because we've just worked so hard for a couple months to position ourselves so that we're going to have the rest of the year to like really work on hitting the rest of our goals. So I hope that was all right. I'll stop share and answer questions. Oh, I missed some chats.
You're so awesome, Lorissa. Thank you so much. I think that's always like, it's just good to be reminded because like you said, we always are getting in our own heads. And like I've met a lot of top coaches and I'm always like surprised at how normal they are and how like
absolutely
more talented or more cool or more skinny or pretty than I am. Like they just have stuck with it. Like you said, they work their butts off. And so I think that's a good reminder that honestly, we can do this, but we have to put in a crap load of work. But
it's not just going to happen.
It's not just going to happen. The people who are successful are doing the same things you are. They're just doing it more consistently or a little bit more and making sacrifices.
The best part is that we know that it's not hard. This is not hard. We just know what we need to do. The hard part is being consistent in doing it.
Right. And getting out of your own head.
Right. And getting out of your own head. And that's what I mean. Like we are going to have lows because we do hit them, you know, it's inevitable, but it's a matter of like, know your resources to pull you out. That's why we have success partners. If you don't have one, find one.
Oh, for sure.
Because, you know, I kind of refused one for a long time. I wasn't like ready for one. But I must say, like, once you have one, you realize that you're not just like slugging alone out there, you know, and sometimes you can kind of feel like that, but that's what these team calls are for. And, you know, it's a reminder that we are working together and that when you have issues or questions, you can reach out to somebody and it doesn't necessarily have to be your direct upline. Like that's what a team is for. You know, unfortunately I had to figure that out like in a roundabout way, but now I'm very vocal about it because if anybody else is stuck in that same position, you know, it shouldn't have taken me so long to wake up, but you know, it happens.
Yes. Thank you. I love too what you said about, making the point that it's expected that we are going to have some lows. Like
absolutely
in this business where I've like been crying and I'm like, oh, like I'm so mad or I'm so hurt. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, but like you said, like that's part of being an entrepreneur. That's part of being a business owner. That's part of being a successful person. Like you're going to have crappy times. Like
I think it's important to like own that up front because that's actually something I didn't even think about. I was just like happy-go-lucky selling, just selling challenge packs and bringing people in my group. I didn't like think of the business side of it.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Like it's not always like firecrackers and lollipops here. Sometimes you're like, oh, like one day, like 2 or 3 coaches cancel or you like someone does a return and a coach cancels and you're like, oh, like it's not the end of the world. Like and we
somebody picks a different sponsor instead of you. Like,
right. I mean, you know, it's not understanding that those days are going to come, but knowing that that's not the end of the world. And most importantly is that it happens to everybody.
Yes.
We all lose rank at some point. we all have coaches cancel. We all have like, long drawn out calls with coach relations that we wish we didn't have to have. And those days, like, you're like, oh, this is not fun. But, those aren't the days we dwell on, is that we know that those days are going to happen, but we have way more good days than bad days, It's
Yes.
the roller coaster of an entrepreneur is real, but that's why not everybody is an entrepreneur. That's why there aren't just like a ton of coaches that are like, rocking it out, because when people hit these lows, a lot of people quit.
Yeah.
But this is where your business will be different than everybody else's. And that's what I always tell my team is that, I'm in this for the long haul. So I always tell people, like, you can link arms with me and come, or like, I will help you where you're at. We always love people where they're at anyways, but when the chips are down, you know who to call, because we know that we can lift each other up. But we're all girl bosses anyways.
Yes. Okay, ladies, what questions do you have for Lorissa?
Yeah.
She's like the organization queen. She's like coming up with new content queen. She has so much. Like, ask away. She has done so many awesome things with her business. So if you have any questions, now's a great time.
No questions? I'm like, I'm very good with newborns. I can help with breastfeeding. I'm like, what do you need to know?
Anything.
What do you need
Thank
to know?
you, Lorissa.
You're so welcome.
I really appreciate it. And I just really have to say amen to everything you said. Like, it's just always good to be reminded of that, and just to know, like, it's all going to work. And like you said,
It will.
I am proof that just sticking around long enough will get you somewhere. Like,
Right.
I just show up every day, and I've been doing that for 2.5 years, and slowly I'm progressing, and that's really how it goes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You're
I was
so
such
welcome.
fun. I will stay on the call because I know a couple of you, I didn't let you guys share some things anyway. So you guys stay on.
Yeah.
I have a couple more announcements. But Lorissa, I know you have to go, so I'll let
I
you.
know. I got to go get my son. All right, guys. Nice to meet
Thank you so
all.
much. You're the best.
Bye.
Bye.